Oh.
We're live. Are we still waiting on the intro, or are we just we're just bullshitting here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Love that.
I may be live, but it doesn't mean I'm necessarily alive. You know what I mean? I just saw the Transformers movie, the Beast Wars one.
Oh damn.
It was it wasn't bad. You know, I've been going to a lot of movies lately in the movie theater. I'm doing one of those subscriptions where you pay like $20 a month and you get to go to as many movies as you want.
Oh nice. Well, what company are you doing? Is it AMC?
Yeah, AMC.
Yeah.
I've done 10 movies so far.
Hell yeah.
And one thing I've noticed is like, well, I guess two things I've noticed is movies are a lot better in the movie theater. I
Yeah,
enjoy
turns out.
I enjoy them more, I guess, or I pay more attention, I guess. And then movie reviews kind of suck. I just quit reading them.
Yeah, fuck that. When Amanda and I went to watch Beau is Afraid, it was like it was one of those movies that we both thought like if we watched it at home, neither of us would have watched the whole thing all at once. We would have taken a nap or some shit like that. But watching it in a theater was a different special experience, and it was incredible.
Yeah, it makes me like keep my phone in my pocket and pay attention, and
Yep.
yeah, it's good. And the big screen is nice too. The best one I've seen is Past Lives. I don't know if you've seen anything about it. It's like a drama. Kind of, I guess it's kind of a romance movie. I don't know. It's like a borderline romance kind of movie, I guess.
Yeah. I've
romantic themes. I would not consider it like a full on romance movie. You know what I mean? It's incredible, man. What a great movie. I didn't know
Dude,
what to.
I'm just excited about the Barbie movie. Like I'm not being any kind of sarcastic about that. I cannot wait to go watch the fucking Barbie movie.
Yeah, we can go see it together if you want. My wife wants to go see it, and then
Dude, yes, all of us. My
yeah,
best friend Savannah, we have a blood pact that we have to go together.
and then Oppenheimer comes out that weekend, which I'm really excited about. It's the new Christopher
Yes.
Nolan movie about the atomic bomb.
Dude, that's oh my god. Yeah, it's all gonna be good. And everything is coming out at the same time. I don't give a shit about Dead Reckoning. I don't give a shit about the new Indiana Jones. I want Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's what I want.
See, I just end up like I end up going to movies I don't even care about because I get to go to them for free. Like I don't care about Transformers at all, but I went today because it was free, right? Or and it was like, hey, if I'd watched it at home, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have turned it off halfway through. But because I was in the movie theater, it was like I actually kind of liked it. It was like a fun movie. I don't know. The fight scene at the end could have been 10 minutes shorter, but I don't know.
Oh, have you seen? Have you watched John Wick 4 yet?
No.
Dude, it's got Donnie Yang in it. Like it is immaculate fight choreography. Like probably the best since the first movie.
Spoiler alert! Doesn't John Wick die in that one? I said spoiler alert.
Also, no, no, it is very open ended.
Yeah,
It's
you
fine.
saving it. Yeah, way to save me there. I said spoiler alert. Will, you could have turned off your headphones.
Everybody, calm down. No, fuck it. That is not a definitive death. It's fine. Everything's fine. Why are we still talking about this?
Pineapple goes on everything, Jamie.
Jamie, I swear to God. Swear to God.
Pineapple and grapefruit goes on everything.
Oh, Al saying Asteroid City. Yes, I am also stoked about Asteroid City.
I've seen that. I saw that on Saturday.
The fucking course you did. God
hey, for the next few months at least, because you have to subscribe for a minimum of 3 months. For the next few months, if it's in the theater, I've probably seen it. Okay, so Asteroid City, I can tell you. Are you a Wes Anderson fan?
Yeah. I'm like a 75% Wes Anderson fan.
If you are a Wes Anderson fan, I think you're really gonna like this movie. It is his. I think it's probably his most artistic movie.
Okay.
It's set up as a frame story. Yeah, I don't know. It's a frame story where the movie that you would think of as Asteroid City is actually a play, and that the outside frame story is the making of the play, which is the making of the play part is really kind of out there artistic. There's a lot of it's really about Wes Anderson and like his coming to grips with like life and death and what is reality and why do I do the things that I do and things like that. And it's just I don't know. It's a little out there. But I loved it. It was really cool. I don't want to give any spoilers on this one because it's very cool. But I mean, if you like Wes Anderson, I think you'll really enjoy it.
So Sledge real good talking about our boy Taika Waititi. Is he in Asteroid City?
I don't know who that is. I'm so bad with actors and
You don't
actresses'
know who
names.
Taika Waititi is?
Me.
Holy shit.
He is not in it. He
Okay.
is not.
The
A lot
rock
of cameos.
monster
I don't want to give
from
them away because some of them are
okay. All right,
surprises.
all right.
Don't look
Oh, yeah.
up. Don't look up like who's in it before you go see it because there's some pretty cool cameos that they're a lot better as a surprise. That's all I'm saying.
Hell yeah. Yeah, she was talking about Jojo Rabbit actually. So yeah, yeah. If you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, that is a beautiful movie.
I I thought it was a very funny movie. It has a very Wes Anderson style of humor, very dry humor.
Yeah.
The artistic style is just like it's just every movie that he makes gets more Wes Anderson, and this is like the next level. You know what I mean?
All right.
It's just everything like you know what he does, and yeah, no, exactly. The frame story, if you're not into art house kind of stuff, it may be a little much for you, but it's pretty short, really. I mean, I'd say it probably takes up 15 to 20 minutes of the total run time. I'm a hipster on some things. I think we all are. You're a hipster on wrestling, right? I'm a cinephile. I'm not as big a cinephile as some people out there, but I
Yeah,
love
you can't talk about that.
I love movies.
Oh, I fucking reckon we are.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Don't point at me. Hello, fellow gastronomes, and welcome to Dirty Belly, where we take you on a journey as your food goes from dirt to your belly. I am your host, a dad who loves to eat and grow, Jeff Sims. I am here today with our resident culinarian, Matthew Gaddis.
Hi. Here I am. There we go.
And
Let's do it. Let's kick it off.
special shout out to the ghost with the mostest, Mr. Will Gray. Don't say his name 3 times, he'll show up.
Will Gray, Will Gray, Will Gray.
No! Don't
Fuck.
do that. He's going to pop up in the corner or something.
Oh, I tried.
This isn't going to be good. And this week we are taking a deep dive into the films of the Coen brothers and Wes Anderson. Not really, no. But we love those movies, right? Somebody in chat said Big Lebowski is their favorite movie of all time, and The Royal Tenenbaums is essential. Jamie Rosex.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
They're both good
I
movies.
am wildly excited about today's topic. We've been away for a little while. We
Literally.
have both been on offset vacations, and I'm so excited to catch up and do a little dive into what we've been up to. So I'm very excited to be back.
Yeah, we've literally been away. They some call it sabbatical, right?
Sabotagle.
Yeah. I went to Florida to meet up with Florida Man and go to Disney World. And
Do you mean Ron DeSantis? You met up with Ron DeSantis?
no, that's not Florida Man. Florida, he doesn't wrestle alligators. Florida Man wrestles alligators. Florida Man is the guy that has no shirt on and no shoes in the local Publix. That's Florida Man. Okay. Though they have a law down there where, like like anytime someone commits a crime, it has to be like put into the paper or whatever. It has to be released like a news bulletin or like a press release or whatever. But they can't release the people's names, so all the stories are like Florida Man does something dumb. So
Hell yeah.
I'm sure you know the meme Florida Man.
Oh yeah.
Where did you go, Matt?
I went to Washington D.C. With my dear beloved, and I'm not gonna lie, man, that was one of the best trips I've ever taken in my life. Between DC and the educational things that we did with between the museums and everything, and just getting to absolutely fuck around in like super dope neighborhoods and experience the local culture. That was one of the best trips I've ever taken. Just absolutely mind blowing. We'll get into to details later, but yeah, a real ace of a vacation.
Before we talk about the food and all that, let me ask you, what museums did you go to while you were there?
So to to forgive y'all of the ridiculous story of how we failed upwards into the best museums ever, we ended up doing the American History Museum. We went to the Hirshhorn Modern Art Gallery, which was the best museum I've ever been to. It was absolutely unbelievable. We went to Natural History, the American Holocaust Remembrance Museum. That was beautiful. I think I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but those were the highlights as far as museums go. And if I can shout out at all, the Hirshhorn. Sledge is keeping me honest here. We went to the Spy Museum as well.
Nice. I've heard that one's cool. I've been to the
It,
Holocaust Museum. It's incredibly somber,
it is.
powerful.
It's really well put together. It's very powerful.
The room
But
with the shoes really got me.
that exhibit was actually not on display.
No, okay.
They took it out for like the summer heat and the light, because that it fucks with all the artifacts. So yeah, we missed out on that. The Spy Museum was like, everyone that told me that the Spy Museum was the best thing to do, I'm questioning whether they actually did it. Like I don't think it was a waste of money, but it was basically a children's museum with too many families, and it was a little whack.
My favorite museum when I went to DC was actually the adjunct facility for the Air and Space. You have to drive like 45 minutes out of DC, or it's probably more with traffic, but
Yeah,
it's at the, I think, the Reagan Airport. I don't know what the airport's called out there, but not the
it's
main
probably
airport. It's the other airport.
45 minutes is probably Dulles.
Yeah, maybe it's Dulles, but they had some pretty cool stuff out there, including one of the space shuttles, and then the Enola Gay, which if you're into World War II history, you probably know what that is. Pretty eerie
Yeah,
to
fuck
see.
yeah.
The Wright Flyer is there too, which was, I thought that would be at the main one, but it was actually at the adjunct.
Yeah, that I'll tell you, for anybody that's interested in going to DC, for the love of God, go to the Hirshhorn Modern Art Museum. It was the most interesting, engaging entertaining museum I've ever been into. Like they're just it's unbelievable. Photography and video installations, and we went to the Yayoi Kosama exhibit. She was the one that invented the infinity room, like the mirror room. Yeah, it was bananas.
That sounds awesome. And you went to a restaurant you used to work for while you were there, right? You drove up to Virginia, is that right?
I sure did. Are we getting into it? Because I got a lot to say about that place.
Yeah, let's do your trip first, and we'll talk about all the places you ate. And
Okay. Yeah, we'll start with the real showstopper. It was a place called Field and Main, and I know the chat says no free shout outs, but fucking come and arrest me. I'm giving them a shout out. Uh, I worked for them about 5 years ago, helped open up the restaurant, and since then they have just gone leaps and bounds on their creativity and the beauty of their presentation and the flow of the kitchen, and everything is just unbelievable. It was my return to that restaurant was one of the most important meals I've ever had. So I'll give the quick rundown. I think Will's got some photos. If it works out, great. If not, just enjoy the description. We did the tasting menu, had a hearth roasted beet and strawberry salad with goat cheese and pickled mustard seeds. That was super chill. It opened up with the hearth fire, which is fantastic. Did sort of the last gasp of spring into early summer. So we had a dish with morel mushrooms, snap peas, asparagus tips, one of the most beautiful coulis I've ever had in my life, a spring pea coulis, and pea tendrils on top. Unstoppable. They gave us an intermezzo, and normally an intermezzo in a dinner is like a sorbet or something to cleanse the palate. For us, our intermezzo was a cheeseburger with bacon jam and caramelized onions and Kewpie mayonnaise and just all the beautiful things. We had a bread service with hearth fired sourdough, which was the same exact sourdough that we've been using since I was there. Had another. Sorry, I'm losing my words. Had another course that was added on, which is the cream corn bread pudding. It's the only menu item that is still on that menu since day one, and that was my recipe. So that's definitely a big ego stroke for me. Like,
that's
and
cool.
they sent that out to me, and it was incredible. Uh, Entree was a grilled swordfish, blistered tomatoes, summer squash, and the most unbelievable Fresno aioli on the time of it. And it was, yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. And then the dessert was a frozen yogurt mousse, rhubarb gel, and strawberry consomme. I know that's a lot of wild words, but it was a very tight, small, acidic dessert to finish off a gigantic, heavy meal. So a perfect ending note. So yeah, I can't say enough. It was an unbelievable meal. It really like kind of reframed how I want to approach food at this moment in my life, and not a lot of meals do that. You don't usually get that sort of vibe.
Oh, it's cool. And how extra special was it because you used to work there? Like, what did that add to it outside of the bread pudding that you put on the menu?
It meant a lot. Like I went in and I immediately, of course, saw the aesthetic improvements they had made to the restaurant. But the thing that really got me was sitting at the chef's counter and and hearing how dinner service went from the expo to the line and the callbacks and everyone being very passionate and controlled and meticulous with what they were doing, that it was interesting to see, like there was a framework that I had there before, but now seeing what they have taken with that and become something so much greater than when I was there, it was really really inspiring. And I'm not gonna lie, I've got a brand new fire under my ass about what I'm cooking and what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
it was an extremely important experience for me.
A great meal will do that, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it really
is
will.
that something that you normally do when you go to a restaurant? Like you critique everything, you're watching the kitchen, you're watching the expo, you're, like, watching all the service. Is that something that you normally do, or do you, like, focus in more on, like, who you're with and the experience?
I try to focus in on the experience. It's a busman's holiday. Like I when I'm off the clock and I'm at a new restaurant, I try to take myself away from the in and outs of dinner service. So, like you were saying, I try to take myself out of how is the server behaving, how is the kitchen communicating. I try to stay away from that because that just sucks me back into my day to day life.
It's funny because my wife jokes when we go out to eat every time she's like, "I can sit here and watch you watching the expo in the kitchen back there and, like, figuring out what's going on," and, like, she's like, "I can see the stress level rising sometimes, like, I can tell how they're doing by watching you because I know that you can watch and see how things are going back there," and it's like, I envy you being able to just take yourself out of it because still to this day, when I go in, if they're stressed, I start feeling the stress, right?
Yeah,
Like, and I can just like, it for me, it just, like, radiates off the kitchen. I can just feel it, and,
yeah.
um
Well, we were at the kitchen counter, and I they had a private party upstairs while we were eating dinner, and I watched them get into the weeds a little bit, and it was anxiety ridden, but also fascinating at the time to be like, oh no, this isn't my thing anymore. So I'm just gonna watch them play it out. But
Yeah, you're secretly, like, praying for them. You're like, "Come on, guys, pull through here," like,
oh yeah, and
I
they
want my
did, they
food
did.
on point, like,
Absolute masters of their craft.
that's good. That's good. Was there anywhere else that you ate that's notable that you wanna talk about?
Real quickly, I'll touch on Ben's Chili Bowl. That was we actually went to the airport location of Ben's Chili Bowl, but I've been to the original before, and I'll tell you, the airport location is completely faithful to the original location. It is delicious. There is no loss in quality. That was fantastic, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about a place called Perry's. That is now my favorite meal within the city lines of DC. It's a Japanese restaurant, and they have amazing sushi, incredible cuts of sashimi, and a hot kitchen that is putting out some of the best food I've ever had. One of my favorite dishes ever is an okonomiyaki, and they had an adorable little heart shaped okonomiyaki that was covered in black garlic aioli and all the fixins, and it just completely annihilated my taste buds. Like that is the new number one spot in Washington D.C. Everybody go to Perry's. Everybody go to Perry's.
So, Field and Maine, is that, Michelin 1 star? Is that right?
It is not. It has not been recognized by Michelin
Okay.
yet. I think it's in their future, if not a bib gourmand. I
How
think
far away from DC is it?
it's about a 45-minute drive due west.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes when you get a little further out, it becomes a lot harder to get that recognition.
It
Um,
definitely does, but you also in that exact area have a place called the Inn at Little Washington that
that's
is
kind of an exception, though.
star and is 3 Michelin stars.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's
So
what I'm saying. Like, it's an exception because it's a 3 Michelin starred experience. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
but they're
like,
out there. They're looking. They're
yeah,
looking.
that's true. He was well known. He was very well known before he made that restaurant, though.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
Patrick O'Connell
yeah.
is the chef of that restaurant, and he's been fostering the Inn at Little Washington for a long time, and I know a good number of their chefs. They are well deserved for those stars. Like they really earned it.
Well, it sounds
Anyway,
like you had a great trip.
dude, yeah, I've talked myself. I've talked myself hoarse. How was your trip? What did you enjoy? Give me some food highlights.
Well, I went to Walt Disney World, which, a lot of times I think isn't really known for its food, but I've had some pretty great experiences down there. Um, I go to Disney World or Disneyland every other year, probably, sometimes every year. It's something that I've started doing with my wife, not something that I ever thought that I would be doing, um, until I started going, and I've really kinda learned to love it. But you know what? There is some really good food to be had down there if you know where to look. The first really great meal I had was, actually in one of the theme parks, at a restaurant called Tiffin's at Animal Kingdom theme park, which is the theme park where they took Everglade and they turned it into an African savanna.
Yeah.
And, like, they have cheetahs and giraffes and elephants and stuff there and some cool roller coasters. But this place is called Tiffin's, and it's kind of a African, Pan Asian cuisine. They had those influences, but uh,
So does that reference the tiffin, which is the metal container in like an Indian lunch?
I'm gonna say yes. I don't know, but that sounds great because
Okay.
you say Indian. Well, the dish that I got there is the same dish I got there last time I was at Disney World. It was so good that I was like, we have to go back to this restaurant because I want to eat the same dish again. I got the butter chicken, which is airline chicken breast
Yep.
made with the special butter chicken sauce that was handed. They got the chef that started that restaurant. He got that recipe from his grandmother for the sauce, and it's the best butter chicken I've ever had in my life. The chicken is always cooked perfectly to where you're just like you're kind of suspect when you start eating it because it's so moist. So you're like, when I get next to the bone, is this going to be raw? Like, but no,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's always all the way through. And then they had some nice. I think they had like peas on the plate, some like snap pea kind of things, and then like a potato croquette that goes with it. But just the flavor profile of this whole thing was incredible, and
That actually sounds like super authentic Indian. Like the everything you're describing, like that's very well done. That's everything I would want out of an Indian dinner.
yeah, I mean, I love Indian food, and it's the best Indian food I've ever had in my life. And
Fuck yeah.
I eat Indian food as much as I can. Really, I try to cook it. Obviously, I'm not as good as this guy's grandma, but I love everything about it, and this is the best Indian food I've ever had in my life, and it's at a theme park. So, it just goes to show you that there's some pretty amazing stuff going on down there at Disney World. We had one really special meal at a place called Monsieur Paul, which is also in one of the theme parks. This one is at Epcot, and it is in the French Pavilion of Epcot. It is upstairs. It's by reservation only. It is a
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm having a sense memory. I went there years and years ago, and it was
yeah.
fantastic. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some of these pictures that are up right now are from that experience. You'll see the fish there in puff pastry. That is from that. There's another piece of snapper with some potatoes on top. Let's see. I got my menu right here. We
Oh,
started out.
I'm bad at our interface. I can't see the pictures. I
Yeah,
gotta
I've got it pulled
look
up
at
so I can see kind of what we're talking about here. But
that. Okay.
we had an amuse bouche to start out. Every course is served with a cocktail. But of course, my wife and I don't drink. But this is one of my favorite things about going to price fix places, especially places that do it right and do it well, is they always offer a non-alcoholic pairing, which is usually like it's a lot cheaper than the alcoholic pairing. But I think we still paid like $55 a person for it. But to me, it was priceless. I mean, it was so worth it because like they sent out the amuse bouche, which was 3 different styles of confit duck, um,
Ooh.
with a little salad, and then there was like a little piece of like almost like to me it seemed like a southern style spoon bread, um, and it came with a cocktail that was made of raspberry coulis, apple juice, and I think cinnamon, and it was like almost like a the apple juice I think was sparkling because it was meant to replace the champagne that everybody else was getting.
Yeah.
And it was really fantastic. And then for the appetizer, I had a mussel saffron soup, which you will see up here. The green soup is the mussel saffron soup, which was fantastic. I loved it. I love mussels and and saffron. Uh, and this is one of those dishes that you see a lot of times at Price Fix where they'll put it together on your table. They bought me a bowl full of mussels, and then she came up and like sprinkled saffron on, and then poured the soup on top of that, which was really kind of neat as well. My wife got the escargot.
That was the that exact restaurant in Epcot is the first time I ever had escargot, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's something else. I mean, we paid a pretty penny for it, but it was out of our budget. Honestly, it was a treat for my wife's birthday. But it's just important to do little things like that in life, even if they are out of your budget. It's you only live once, right? And it's better to regret, I think, the great things that you've done than the great things that you haven't done. And
I'm gonna eat them snails.
so after the appetizer course, we had a fish course. My wife had the snapper and potato scales with rosemary sauce, which you will see up in the top right corner up there. Very beautiful plating. I had the wow. I see all this is in French, so I look at it. I'm like, it's like bar and croûte foulette sauce charon, grommet de Monsieur Paul. It's sea bass and puff pastry, sauce charon, Monsieur Paul style. That's the puff
I
pastry
want
in the
all
bottom
the
right.
correct pronunciation. I need to hear it.
This was another one where they built my plate in front of me. They brought out this like pan with everything on it, and then like the server's like setting up my plate and like sprinkling salt, and I don't know. It's really kind of. And sometimes I like that. Some like with the soup course, I really liked that. It was very unique. With this course, I was like, I would have rather a chef plated this because after it was done, it was like, you could have done a better job plating this. But that's okay. It was still very delicious. And then True Normand is the next course, which for most people was a brandy that had pears soaking in it. For us, we had this little purple cocktail here with little flowers on it. It's very unique. We had a couple cocktails like that with little flowers on it. I wish I'd taken more pictures of the drinks that we got because we got a drink with every course, and they were all very unique. Meat course, I had the center cut beef tenderloin, porcino fricassee, mashed potatoes, mousseline, bordelaise sauce. This was pretty standard filet with porcini. The mashed potatoes mousseline was really interesting, though. It's a French style mashed potato kind of presentation, and it was very like super super creamy and smooth. I've never like almost. I know you've probably had purees and stuff like that, and I would compare it to that, like a very finely milled or pureed potato. It was very
Yeah, I'm thinking
interesting.
like what I'm thinking is like an aligo that is super cheesy, but you're telling me that it was like a very creamy. situation. So like with an aligo, what I assume is like 50% potato and cheese, but what you're describing is like a super creamy, almost liquid
Yeah.
potato.
And, a lot of times when people try to do something like this, it gets really, I don't know, the starch kinda clings it all together, and it gets really sticky and clingy and almost, like,
Yeah,
stringy,
yeah, yeah.
but this was, would just if you tried to pick it up with a fork, it would fall through the fork, you know what I mean? Like, you
Okay.
had to eat it with a spoon. Um, they had to serve it in a bowl on the side because it was not plate. It would just you know what I mean?
Jesus. I can only get so turned on, man. God
Yeah.
damn.
Uh, my wife, she actually got the chicken dish, which in hindsight, I wish I'd gotten. Is a chicken fricassee with morels, rice pilaf with vegetables and black truffles. Very delicious, fresh black truffles.
They had morels. They had morels in Disney World.
Yeah, and it was very delicious.
Jesus.
Yeah, I snuck a couple morels off her plate, and it was it had the truffles, but the truffles weren't overpowering. And uh, just a very chicken was cooked perfectly. Very good dish. And then there was a cheese course. Several different types of French cheeses. They had a blue cheese that I just really loved. I wish I'd gotten the name of it, but it was so creamy and it had the blue flavor. But a lot of times, blue is just like, oh, you know what I mean. But it was just like the perfect amount of blue. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
They asked what my favorite cheese was. Normally, I would never say the blue, but that's definitely what it was. For dinner, my wife had the Sphere de chocolat à la glace à chocolate, sauce tiède au chocolat et cognac. Of course, they made it without the cognac, um, which we wouldn't have minded that, but we don't want alcoholic drinks. A little bit in the food is fine.
Fair enough.
But it's a date almond cake, chocolate cream, hazelnut biscuit, chocolate ice cream, warm chocolate cognac sauce. Uh, this is one of the ones where they bring you it has like the chocolate dome over the top, and then they take the sauce and crisscross it, and it opens up. It's
Oh, and
kind
it
of neat.
melts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty neat.
I've never seen one in real life, but that shit is dope.
And then I had a thin apple tart, almond
You're a
cream,
thin
vanilla
apple
ice
tart.
cream. I just wanted to get something a little different, just because when you're doing something like this and you get the choices, a lot of times it's nice for both of us to get something different. Normally, I'm always the chocolate guy, but when you're sitting across from somebody and you're willing to share food, it's like, well, let's get something different, and I'll try some of yours, and you try some of mine, and then they
Yeah.
got something better than you, and they're like, all right, you can have one bite, but that's all you get. And you're like,
That
oh
that dude,
man,
that's why I was so stoked about the very light dessert at Field and Main with the buttermilk frozen yogurt situation and the strawberry coulis. Like it was very light. It was a little bitter. Like I don't want a pound of chocolate after I've just had 10 courses of savory food. Like I want something that's gonna refresh me and get me ready to continue with my day.
the other really notable meal that I had at Disney World was actually at Disney Springs, which is like their little shopping area. It's not at the theme parks. It's a lot of really great restaurants there. I went to Jaleo by Jose Andres, which is a Spanish style tapas style restaurant.
Yo, there's a Jaleo in Disney Springs.
Yeah, and oh man, what a great meal.
Nice.
We ordered so much stuff. That's what I love about tapas is it's like they bring it out in things for everybody to share. And it's like, oh, I'll order these three things and you order these three things and you order these three things. The next thing you know, you got they just fill the whole table with food and you eat it all and they bring more food and you eat all that and they bring more food and you eat all that and then you're like, should we have dessert? Why not? Right? We're gonna share it. And then you get the bill and you're like, what have we done? This is ridiculous. What have we done here?
Yeah, we walked by Jaleo on our way to a different dinner in DC because Jose Andres has a huge presence in DC. So it was we walked by his Chinese place, we walked by Jaleo, we walked by Bazaar. The only one I wanted to go to was Mini Bar, but that's little pricey, so we didn't look into that. But yeah, that guy has such a huge presence. I didn't know he had something in Disney Springs. That's wild.
No, yeah, there's some really great restaurants right there. There's a Chef Morimoto's there too. And looking at these,
Cool.
Will has put up another thing of pictures here. So if we're looking at these pictures here on the top left, you'll see merguez stuffed medjool dates. Which was served on top of a hummus, and that was at the original place, Tiffin's. That was the appetizer we got there. Moroccan lamb merguez, bacon hummus, olives, golden raisins, harissa vinaigrette, and a couple Indian style breads there. The picture directly to the right of that is the chicken dish that I was talking about, the butter chicken. Very cool plating on that one. There's the dessert. To the right of that is the dessert that we had at Haleo. My favorite dessert of the trip. I wish I could remember what it was called right now. I took terrible notes, guys. I'm so sorry. Another dessert. To the right of that is the dessert that we had at Tiffin's. That was a toffee cake dessert, very good. And then bottom row is mostly Haleo tapas. The third one from the right on the bottom is the duck confit appetizer from Monsieur Paul. And I wish I'd taken more pictures. You know, it's one of the things, like, a lot of times you get into this stuff and you're like, I'm going to take all pictures of all my food. And then you're like, oh, I've eaten half of this. I didn't take a picture. What have I done?
Yeah. Well, one thing that you brought up in our text before we got started was, and this is something I'm very interested in. How do you, since we were both on vacation, how do you decide on a new restaurant when you're in a new city or in a tourist location? Like, I know my criteria, and we can come back to that. But for you, what do you do when you're going to a new place and you want to find somewhere to eat and you just don't have a reference? Like, how do you go about that?
Well, first and foremost, and the picture that's currently up right now, this is how I found that restaurant. If I'm in last minute mode, I've got to find a restaurant. I will I will trust a Yelp or Google review, but the one thing I'm trying to look for local, right? Let me pull up. I texted you guys the name of this place. This place is called Big Nick's in Valdosta, Georgia. We're driving down the interstate. Hey, let's get lunch in Valdosta. I was like, all right, we'll pull up the restaurants. Tell me the highest rated. And she starts reading them off. You know, it's like, oh, we got Chili's, we got Applebee. Like, no, no. She's like, Big Nick's. I was like, I don't care what they serve. I've never heard of it. It's got like 4.5 stars. We're going to check it out, right? Even if
Hell
it takes
yeah.
us another 5 minutes off the interstate, we're going to go check out Big Nick's. And Big Nick's was incredible. All right. It was perfect. Um, Everything was so well seasoned, but it's like, look for local places, I think, if you can, and especially in like a last minute type situation, look for a highly rated local place, because you can eat at Chili's at your own hometown. You can eat at Olive Garden or whatever you like. You can eat that at home, right? We got Olive Garden at home. Right? Let's go somewhere that I'll probably never get to go to Big Nick's again, but I'm glad I did.
Sure.
What about you? What your first go to when you're trying to pick a place to eat in a new town?
I actually thought about this a lot, and I've got kind of a three-tiered system. Your number one tier is going to be your luxury meal. Like when you go to a city, you've got a place that you're gonna really splash out and have a great time. And that, I think, is just based on proper research. I and maybe a couple people in the chat are a little bit spoiled by understanding good restaurants and being able to pick them out. But a fine dining situation is something that can pretty easily be researched online. Tier number two would be your middle of the road dinner. And I would apply that to Perry's in DC, where we went, where me and Sledgy Real Good went. And that was kind of a combination of taking local recommendations and also looking at multiple review sites. So you can look at something like Yelp and say Yelp says that this place is 4.5 stars or blah 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 or whatever. But take that and compare it with Google and TripAdvisor and Eater and like really look at all of those different things, and you're gonna see trends in those reviews. Like there will be common negatives and common positives, and try and decide if you are willing to take the leap on that restaurant based on those reviews. Because if you just look at one source, if you're just looking at Google reviews, you're only going to get one set of sources. But if you look at 4 or 5 different review sites, then you can kind of start to understand what the positives and negatives are of any restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's how we came to Perry's. The third level, which is the bottom level, is the most fun part. It's where you get to the city, you go to a bar, you go to a local spot, and you start talking to the staff, and you find out what they think is the best thing in the neighborhood. We had a really great experience in Adams Morgan in DC. We were talking to the bartenders at a place called Shenanigans, the place full of crazy shit on the walls. And they recommended an empanada place that was literally next door. So we ended up having incredible empanadas at like 11 p.m. and we never would have known to go, but to dig into the local culture and to dive into where you're at and find out where the locals want to eat, that's the best part. Like
Yeah.
that's my absolute favorite bit of it.
I agree with you 100%. That's kind of where I was going to go next. Was first thing you want to do is, like, if I'm taking a week-long trip somewhere, or hopefully 2 weeks. I've only taken a couple trips like that in my life, but I'll have a few places picked out before I go. Okay, these are the places, maybe one or two if it's a week trip. A couple nice places I'd like to eat, and what you like to eat. You like seafood, you're gonna look for a good seafood place. You like steaks. If you want
Yes.
a price
Yes.
fix, you know what you want. So look for something like that. Look, like Matt said, get multiple reviews. If you know people who've been there before, who live there, ask them. That's a good way to get some information. But do a lot of research on a couple places before you go. And then once you get there, ask the locals and look where the locals are. And this is my favorite place to find a rest place to eat. Um, some of my favorite places that I've ever eaten at on vacation, like the places that my wife and I found in our honeymoon in Spain and Venice, is places that either were recommended to us by locals or we were just walking down the street and I was like, I don't see any other Americans in there. Why don't we go in there and eat? Like,
Yeah.
if we went in somewhere and we saw everybody was speaking English at the tables, we're like, I don't know if this is the place for us, right? We want to go somewhere where it's more local, right? And obviously, if you're in America, everybody's going to speak English everywhere you go. It's a little harder to tell a tourist from a non-tourist, but uh, like Matt was saying, you learn those places by talking to people. And when you go to your first reservation or place that you want to eat, or maybe you're just at the place like a museum or something, talk to the person at the front desk. Just be like,
Yeah.
hey, what's good to eat around here?
I want to shout out Sledge It in the chat. This is something we had talked about earlier today. Social groups are a really great resource. If you're looking to travel to a new city and you're looking for hot restaurants or things to get away from the day-to-day like tourist attraction stuff, I know it sounds a little cliche, but get on these local subreddits and these Facebook groups. Just look for communities of people that travel and that go to different places, and just build on the knowledge that other people have had in traveling to different places, and you'll discover a treasure trove of information. Like I know social media can be absolutely toxic, but it can be very valuable, especially with travel.
Yeah. But there is something to be said kind of for the Anthony Bourdain effect sometimes where exposure like that sometimes can ruin places. And
Sure. Yeah. 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 It
by the
sure
time
can.
you get there, it may not be the same as when it first, that's why my favorite way is still asking the locals, if you like, especially, when I used to drink, if you still drink and you're going to go out to a bar or something, ask the bartenders. If you're late night at a bar, there's probably going to be some cooks in there somewhere, man. If you can find them, if you can find the people that work in the industry, they're gonna know where to eat. I can promise you they're gonna know where to eat. I can
They're
tell you the
there.
best places to eat in my town. I can tell you all the places that most of the people here don't even know,
Yeah.
and
They're there. We are everywhere.
yeah. And, find a hey, if you can find, like, a local chefs or local cooks page or something like that, that would be the place to ask, I think,
Oh yeah.
personally. I mean, servers know too, they're in the know. So you can always ask your server where you're at, where do they eat?
Yeah,
Um,
when I go to new cities, and for me, the last couple cities I've been to really mess around in was uh, Austin and DC, and both places I've been very very able to ask like where are the chefs at, like where are we partying, like where's the after hours thing, like where's the fun little gastronomic bit that no one else is going to know about. And they'll tell you we're chefs, we're very friendly people, we just want to party.
just don't be a jerk. I mean, that's it.
Exactly, exactly.
Be grateful for your meal, be grateful for your service, just be happy to be there in the moment, and the good things will happen to you most of the time, I find.
Yeah, we I'll just straight up flex right here. We like Sledge It and I we were on vacation, and we're just a couple of industry folks on vacation, and I'm telling you, we got something free every single day while we were traveling, just from being nice people. So we met bartenders and they gave us free tabs. Like we met servers and we got discounts on our restaurant bill. We DC is a legal territory for weed, so we got straight up just gifted weed one night. Like all you got to do is just be a nice person, appreciate the service industry, appreciate the people that you're around, and you're gonna have the best time in the world. Just be nice.
Yeah, and be curious, people love when you ask about them.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't tell them about yourself, ask them about them, and ask them about their community, and be genuinely interested in it. And most people are very, very happy to share those things because we love them, right? I love the community I live in. If someone was very interested in me telling them about my favorite restaurants and my favorite places to go, I could talk for hours, and I would love to share it with them. Oftentimes, I think people are lonely in this world and they don't have enough people to share their things with. And when you become that person that they can share their community and their experiences with, people are often very grateful, I find. So I can see that that, Matt, through experience.
Yeah, yeah, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed how much fun you can have on a trip if you're just nice to everybody. And I think that applies to not just big cities, or and I'm speaking to the masses here, whoever the hell is watching, like the just being kind to everyone while you're out and traveling and discovering and being with your loved ones, and like just being good, being nice, being chill, it's going to take you so far.
And just think about it. This is the way I always think about it. It's like just being like, especially when things go wrong, things don't go your way, being cool about it can make somebody else's day, right? I mean, because especially in this industry, people generally want to do a good job. People generally want to please you, and things don't always go the way that they want them to. And you may have something messed up with you, and if you're cool about it instead of being a jerk, it can be a lot of pressure off somebody. It can really turn somebody's day from terrible to great, just like that. Just by saying, "Hey, you know what? It's not a big deal. I don't really care. It's fine. I'll, like if you want to make another one, that's great. If not, I'll have this one. It's, it's all good."
Hell yeah. Dude, we walked into a bar in Adams Morgan in DC, and the bartender we walked into was the drunkest bartender I've ever seen in my entire life. Like this dude could barely hold a bottle to pour it, and he was arguing with us about our drink selections and all this. But we were just gracious for the hospitality, and then luckily his backup came in, and it was a lot more civilized. But in that moment, it was so much fun. Like oh, this is a neighborhood dude. He's drunk as fuck. We're just gonna deal with this guy. It's kind of hard to describe. Like it felt like we were a part of the neighborhood instantly, and rather than being repulsed by this guy being a little bit hammered, we just kind of accepted it, and it was a great afternoon.
Yeah, and hey, who knows why he was hammered? He might have been having a bad day. Might have
Who
been having
knows?
he might have had some tough stuff going on in his life, and your acceptance may have made that a little bit easier on him. I think that's about all we got on this episode, guys. This has been a fun episode, though. I love talking about travel and food together. Two of
Oh
my favorite
shit!
things.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just realized fucking Ellen is on the chat. Jesus
Hello,
Christ!
Ellen.
Love you to death. Hello, love you.
I don't even know you, Ellen, but I love you.
Oh, she's fantastic. She's not far from you. Everybody's very excited.
Yes, slay queen.
I
was talking to you, Matt.
Oh, me slay.
There you go. There you go. I saw your poll, Will, out there in the ether, and I don't care what the poll says. Corn tortillas are still cornbread. Okay, I don't care. You may have tried to slip that in on me like I wouldn't notice, but I noticed, and I don't care what the poll says. You probably rigged that anyway, right? I know how this game works. What should we talk about next week, Matt? You got any ideas?
Oh, next week.
Are we gonna come back on Wednesday? What's your work look like?
Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's do it Wednesday. Everybody tune in. Everybody on the chat. I know I'm just distracting right now, but
Wednesday at 9, and I can't do my
9.
shout outs, Will, because I don't know what they are.
Let's fucking go. No, Ellen, we're not talking about Korean barbecue. It's the only thing you ever talk about. We're not doing it. At least not for now.
I kind of want to now. I hate being told
God damn
no.
it.
I hate being told no. Don't tell me what not to do, Tell me something good to do. Oh, pancakes. Ooh. Pancakes.
Ooh, what if we do breakfast bread products? So we can do pancakes, waffles, biscuits.
We're doing pancakes.
I'm seeing that you don't love it.
No, we're doing pancakes. I don't know. I just don't know why we have to add in all these other things, because pancakes to me could fill 3 hours. We could write a novel about pancakes.
We're gonna have to listen to a History Channel style dissertation on my childhood with pancakes.
Listen, I'm willing to add waffles to the mix, so we can go pancakes and waffles.
Pancakes and waffles. Yes.
Biscuits, though, I feel like is a separate episode.
I think you're right. Pancakes and waffles?
Yeah. And I think Sledgett's right. We're going to call them morning cakes. That's probably another thing. That's probably your nickname or something. But we're calling them.
I can literally hear her laughing about that from the other room.
Well, thank you, hungry
Yeah.
homies. Should I do some shout outs? Let's see if I can do this right. Trivia night, is that still happening? Give me a thumbs up, Will. Thursdays, trivia night, 8 p.m. It's some kind of time, Central Time, I think. Sunday, botch spots and chair shots. I got it right. Yes, I did it. And then tea and hot takes, 8 p.m. at Tuesday, and then we'll be back on Wednesday at 9 p.m. All that on Rivet City Radio. I've heard there's a bunch of new stuff also on here, but I'm out of the loop because I've been out of town, so I don't know. But next week I'll have that info for you. Thank you, hungry homies, for joining us today on our journey of learning more about the food we eat and the people we love.
I love you, and I love your bellies.
I do. We do love you. Why not?
Still haven't gotten a single belly pic. So
life's too short not to love each other. So
send me your belly.
Yep.
Do it. Should I show the belly right now?
Yes.
I feel like I should.
You don't have to ask.
I feel like that's a belly.
Yeah.
Look. It's a better show at 9 p.m. than it is 9 a.m. I'm just saying.
Hey, if we're back, Will needs to be back. Get in here, Will.
Ta-da!
I don't see you yet because I'm on delay. He's up in the top corner.
Yeah, I'm up in the corner.
Hello, up there.
In the ether, or whatever it is you guys say.
So if this is the Brady Bunch, then you're Marsha.
I would whoever you want me to be, Jeff. This is your world. I'm just living in it.
You're Marsha.
Marsha.
I got to figure out how to get the dual screen thing so I can see the feed with all the fun pictures.
If you open up Twitch on your phone and just mute it, you'll be able to see it on your phone.
Okay.
Or what I do is I have two separate windows open. You could do like half your screen and the other half. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And then I just open up Twitch, and it's usually about a few seconds delay. Back to movies. If you're still in the chat, what's your favorite movie?
That's a huge question.
Favorite movie or favorite director? You can have more than one. It's okay.
Robert Eggers, favorite director.
Midsommar.
Yup.
That's by the one that did Hereditary, right?
Yeah. Yes, same director. Yes, absolutely.
We do Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? We do random trivia, and we mix wrestling in. She asked what kind of trivia we do on Thursdays.
Let me see. Midsommar.
Oh yeah, Ari Aster.
Ari Aster.
Yeah, that's the director.
I feel like I've seen something that
he did Midsommar and Hereditary, and he also did Beau is Afraid, which is an absolute mind fuck. I've never seen a movie that was that unhinged before. Just completely ridiculous.
Hook and Steven Spielberg. Yes. I like that.
Fucking Ellen. Steven Spielberg, really? That's your favorite director?
Yeah. Hey.
Jesus.
It's like saying Taylor Swift is your favorite musical artist.
Yeah, we need Ellie Mae. I'm assuming I know who the fuck you are. We got to get you into some better directors.
My favorite director is Stanley Kubrick.
Limited.
Stanley Kubrick's my favorite director. My favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption.
Honestly, Stanley Kubrick is probably the best American director.
Shawshank, your favorite.
Yeah, it's a prison heist, dude. What's not to love about an innocent dude breaking out of prison?
He had to escape on taco night.
I'm just surprised.
Yeah, he did it, and he used the hotties. He used the thirst trap posters to hide his hole in the wall. Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen a 40-year-old movie.
Yeah, Wes Anderson is probably not Wes Anderson.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick is. I mean, he's probably the best American director. I think I like Akira Kurosawa a lot. Probably the best director.
I think Akira
overall.
Tozawa is a jobber, and he deserved to stay in the 24/7 division.
Well, I don't know whoever you just said is, but
Danny Boyle is a fantastic director.
Danny Boyle's
Trainspotting
really
was
good.
amazing.
Sledge it. Have you seen Sunshine?
I'm sure she has.
It's a Danny Boyle movie where they're traveling to the sun because the sun is dying, and they're gonna insert some kind of nuclear reactor in it to restart it. It is such a crazy, awesome movie. Starts out sci-fi, ends up horror. The whole thing is just incredible. It's such a great. I love that movie. It's such a sleeper. Nobody knows about it.
I know about it.
I
don't actually know about it.
Yeah, of course you don't, Will. It's not professional wrestling. Cillian Murphy, he's in the new
28 days later.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Dude, god damn. I gotta watch Barbie and Oppenheimer. I'm so excited.
I'm reading the biography right now that the Oppenheimer movie is based on, or I'm listening to it on audio book. It's pretty interesting. Dude's wild. The dude had a wild life. He's basically a communist early in his life.
Yeah.
That's like your biggest nightmare, Jeff, is a communist.
No, I love communists. Communists are authoritarians. We like that. It's an anarchist you got to watch out for.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry. So Ellen, everybody going to see Oppenheimer and Barbie as a double feature. Yeah, we're doing it.
Now here's the question though: which order do you go in? Do you watch Oppenheimer first and then have Barbie as like the palate cleanser?
I think so.
I almost think you want to do Barbie first because I think Oppenheimer is going to be so disturbing that you're going to have a hard time enjoying Barbie after.
I think
you're going to be like be sitting there like waiting for a bomb to drop. You know what I mean?
Well, I've done plenty of like research in like past lives of academia about Oppenheimer, so I don't think it's going to disturb me as much as most people. So I want to do Oppenheimer straight into the Barbie movie.
You know, in the biography I'm reading, I just got to the part where his mistress dies, committed suicide, supposedly. But apparently there's like a lot of speculation that the CIA, well, it's a precursor to the CIA, obviously, but the CIA might have killed her.
The CIA's killed a lot of people. Stanley Meyer built a car that could run on water. Look it up.
Because she like drowned in her own bathtub.
Have you watched nope, never mind. Train left the station. I do not remember what I was about to say.
So if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription too.
Drop that free Twitch subscription.
And then you would go to subscribe and you'd use Prime subscription, and that'll get you a free subscription to the
bingo.
So you don't have ads.
The Imitation Game with Bumblebee Pumpkin Patch. Have you guys seen that?
Bumblebee Tuna?
Yeah. It's about I can't remember the actual guy's name, but he was the one that broke the Enigma machine, the Nazi code maker, and he is credited for creating the first computer.
Bartholomew Fartincan.
No, that's not his name. That's absolutely.
Oh, I thought I was just reading the chat.
Yeah. Sledge, you can fuck right off. That is incorrect.
Bartholomew Fartincan. Got him. You get it? Because it's like I said, somebody farted in a can, guys. I turned the lights on, so you know we're partying now.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Disco party. Partying like it's a disco.
Jeff hates me.
I love you, Will.
He tries to run such a clean show, and the last 10 minutes here I come to wreck his night. You know, what rule does the ads remind you of, Ellen?
Oh God.
Kids can't talk when the adults are talking. That was your rule, Ellen.
Yeah, that was it. Was that rule 9? Was that 9?
Rule 9 was figure it out.
Okay.
Will joins try to ruin it. I did. I didn't come out of the ether till they asked me to, though. Jeff caused this to happen. I was perfectly fine.
You got to be here to balance me, Will.
No, kids don't talk when the adults are talking wasn't my rule. Just simply was shut the fuck up, Will.
Yep. No, the kids don't talk while the adults are talking. That was specifically engineered for Steve Llewellyn.
I forgot about that guy.
Yep. That was the origin.
If anybody's looking for a great movie to go see this weekend, go see Past Lives. PASTLIVES. Past Lives. Best movie I've seen so far this year.
Also,
so good.
Watch the new season of Black Mirror, for the love of God. It's so good.
How new is it?
The season is amazing.
Bluey's real good.
You're fucking... Yes!
I heard her. She was so excited. I heard her.
You want to talk about Bluey? It's all I want to talk about.
I watch a lot of Bluey. Having a 6-year-old, I've seen a lot of Bluey.
I watch that shit on my own. It's the fucking best thing ever.
It's legitimately good. It's like Rugrats.
Animals are Bandit and oh, I'm dying right now. The little sister. What am I thinking of? Bingo! Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Nice.
Well, this has been fun, y'all.
Keep you uppy all the time.
Time of my life.
I've had the time of my life.
Jeff is starting to get tired. I'm an adult. I got bedtime.
And I owe it all to you.
I got a 6-year-old that gets me up at 6 a.m. every morning. So come 10, my eyes go.
I've been waiting for so long. I'm trying to make fun of it without you. Don't take me no dance. Don't take me other dance. To remember,
you're the one thing I can't get enough of. Let me tell you one thing. This could be love, baby.
I've had the time of my life.
I used to watch Dirty Dancing with my mom when I was a kid. They're making a new one? Question mark?
You know how inappropriate that movie is when you really think about the fact that 16, 17-year-old girl was running around with like a grown-ass man who had already got another girl knocked up and was having, it was not like.
You think that movie's inappropriate? Go watch Blank Check again. This kid is putting them he's like a little 10-year-old kid putting the moves on an adult woman, and it works. She's into it. It's not right.
I 100% am I going to go back and clip that. You're 1,000% out. Off the top says I didn't know I joined a Dirty Dancing stream.
Which movie theater are we going to go to? I need it to be an AMC.
Of course.
No free
Well,
plugs.
we need one with the comfy chairs. I'm not doing a double feature without the comfy chairs.
Are you
Can
talking
we
about
find one that
about the
has the
recliners?
recliners?
yeah.
Oh,
Like
jinx.
Green Hills. Green Hills
Yeah, Murfreesboro's
has
got them.
it's got the good. Fuck Green Hills, but that shit is
The
so tasty.
Thoroughbred is real good.
Not all the seats are reclining at Thoroughbred.
No, not AMC Burrow. Jesus Christ. Stop
Ellen
making
doesn't.
Murfreesboro
She doesn't
happen.
drive
It's
on the
not gonna
interstate,
happen.
so she's scared.
It's
Murfreesboro
agreed.
is terrible.
Murfreesboro. It's agreed.
I have the AMC app. That doesn't
Right,
fucking
well-
matter, Ellen.
Wait, you want to go to Green Hills? Do they have the recliners?
They goddamn right they do.
What is the no to?
To the borough.
You
Hell
live in
yeah.
the borough.
What's up, Dad? Head?
Don't you live in the borough?
Yeah. Don't fucking dox me out to here to these people. I don't know these people.
What's your address?
Not a chance am I telling you my address on a stream. Crazy. Dad Hat, what's your favorite movie and who's your favorite director? He does film, literally like theater and show. Like that's his thing. Favorite movie, favorite director.
Yes,
Daniel
Al,
Dad
I
Hat.
understand I'm the only one not in the borough. Just everybody can fuck off about that.
Ha ha. I don't know why I'm laughing. Gaddis can drive in just saying.
No, I don't know how to drive.
Dad Hat, you missed the Dirty Dancing sing along too that we apparently broke into after his show ended.
I love how they waited till I stopped drinking to start serving alcohol at movie theaters. So every time I go there, I'm like, now you're doing it?
Damn it.
Yeah, hey, they missed out on a lot of money with this guy. I tell you what. I would have been buying a lot of those $15 drinks at the movie theater.
I'm at the point where I'm upset when I cannot get a cocktail at the movie theater. Thank you very much.
It doesn't matter if AMC serves it, Ellen. Jeff doesn't drink anymore. Sucks
I
to
do.
suck.
It
I
does
drink.
suck to suck.
Holy
Please,
fuck.
so do I, because I'll sneak whiskey.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
so
what
do
I
I.
that's what I always used to do. I remember me and my old roommate Charlie, we went to see the premiere of one of the Harry Potter movies, and we brought in like a whole fifth of whiskey and sat in the front row and drank that thing.
I love
I
Charlie.
mean, it's just kids everywhere, and we are just like fall down drunk, like at this movie.
I remember that, Jeff.
In and out like
For the last movie in the Skywalker series, I was accidentally on a brownie full of mushrooms.
yeah,
I was told that it was a weed brownie. That was a lie. I was losing my fucking mind in front of all these children.
You remember when Pineapple Express came out, Matt, and I got inappropriately drunk in the middle of the day and still somehow forced my way to the movie theater with you and Sam and all those people to watch that movie?
Hell yeah.
Like inappropriately falling over drunk.
See, we had dressed up. We had dressed up for this, and Charlie was dressed up as Hagrid, and he already looked like Hagrid anyways. He just needed the beard, you know. And I had dressed up as Dobby, so like nobody wanted to talk to
Both
Dobby.
those
but
make complete sense.
all the kids wanted to get their picture taken with Hagrid, and Charlie was so drunk. We were all so drunk. It's like even these like little girls would like go like, let me get my picture with Hagrid, and they'd like say cheese, and you go creeper. Like the dude's hilarious. But no, it was like a dive bar in there. Like we were like every 5 minutes somebody was up to pee or had to go smoke a cigarette. I don't know. I don't know how we didn't get thrown out. Like we kept dropping the bottle on the floor. You know, like it was rough.
All right. Well, on that note, if you're still with us, we're going to talk about some pancakes and waffles next week, Wednesday at 9:00. I don't know what's happened. I don't know why Will's being real creepy, being real weird.
I was just hiding.
Creeper.
I was just hiding.
All right.
You gonna say
I
bye?
love you all to death. Have a
We
wonderful
love
night.
you too, morning cakes.
Enjoy
Eating
new
cake.
cities. Go to new places. Go enjoy the food in new places and discover it and have a great time.
Do drugs, drink booze, drive fast.
Yeah, do all that too.